Hello everyone, I'm Brandon Marcello. This is Joel A. Erickson. We're here live where we were covering Muschamp, the new power couple in the SEC. Gus Malzahn hiring Will Muschamp, the former Florida coach, to be Auburn's next defensive coordinator. Will Muschamp, fresh off vacation, ready to coach, said he told his wife, "What do you do all day?" He said he was ready to get back to work. He's not used to taking time off, but Gus Malzahn's number one target, the fans' number one target, is here at Auburn, and now where do they go from here, Joel?
Well, the interesting thing is from here there's a little bit of a evaluation period for Muschamp. He knows the roster. He talked a little bit about certain players today, Carl Austin particularly.
Yeah.
I think that was a really wet, really awful way to say that sentence. I apologize. But he's going to take the bowl practice to evaluate. He's not coaching in the bowl. You can't. And honestly, that makes sense. You can't install a defense in a week. It's just not possible. So he's going to watch practice and kind of evaluate what they've got, where they're at. I thought Malzahn said something interesting. He said by saying he's really interested in finding out what Muschamp's evaluation of what they have is. This is a spoiler alert for something I'm going to write tomorrow. But there's a lot of fans have been talking about recruiting in terms of what they have. Auburn has 22 of 42 scholarship players were either 4 stars or 5 stars by the 24/7 composite. So my guess is what Muschamp's going to find is not so much a lack of talent, depends on what you think about recruiting stars, but more a problem in development.
Yeah, and they're going to be switching from that 4-2-5 to a 4-3, and linebackers obviously is going to be a huge part of that, and trying to get a third guy out there on the field. And obviously he wouldn't go into specifics about what he's looking for on the recruiting trail over this next year or so. He's got to evaluate, but you figure linebacker is going to be a big part of the mix there.
They do have a couple of pieces, though. I mean, they've already got Anthony Swain coming back. They've got they ostensibly have McKenzie and Frost coming back. Trey Williams is in the mix, and then they have guys behind that. The question is whether or not those guys are the kind of depth he wants, or if he wants better depth.
Yeah, McKenzie's looking at possibly going to the NFL, though I expect him to be back.
Especially now that Muschamp's here.
Right. So, the number one thing, though, that Muschamp brings some much-needed energy, maybe, to that defensive meeting room. I don't think they quite had that, especially on the sidelines. You all know that. He's an energy guy. He likes to yell a certain
By energy,
word.
He means berserker rage.
Yeah, he sweats a lot, he yells boom, and things of that sort.
Interestingly, that kind of fits Gus's sideline personality.
Doesn't chew gum, though.
We've all seen Gus go bonkers just for plays after play after play in game. So I think that intensity is probably going to match up pretty well, actually. That's kind of the space they both occupy.
Yeah. And Will Muschamp's going to make a lot of money. He's going to make more than $1.6 million over the next 3 years, according to a source. To go along with about $2.1 million he's going to get paid each year over the next 3 years from Florida from his buyout.
He should have been an assistant coach.
I know. You take those numbers, he's going to make probably at least $3.7 million a year, which would rank him 14th nationally if he was still head coach. He is ahead of Jimbo Fisher, who won a national championship last year.
Yeah, we've written about this and kind of hinted at it. I got official word today. I asked Jay Jacobs if Gus basically has carte blanche to do whatever he wants, and he said, "We can and we will." So, if there are more staff changes coming, I wouldn't expect money to be an issue. Money was obviously not an issue in this search.
Yeah.
Auburn's going to pay its assistants a ton of money.
A lot of money, and Muschamp and Malzahn were not very clear on whether staff changes will come, but
Will's going to have input, but Will says that's Gus's decision.
Then Gus said it was.
So if you read between the lines, Will's going to get
Muschamp's decision. Yeah, so there's going to be changes, and the obvious name out there is Tavares Robinson, who's Auburn guy, was at Florida with Will Muschamp, has been in the mix for some other jobs right now, USF as defensive coordinator. He's no longer involved in that. There's talk that he might want to stay at Florida, but you think that the pull from Auburn might be a little bit too much, and he is an amazing recruiter from everybody you talk to. So that would probably be priority number one for Will here these next few weeks.
Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff in this video, and we're going to break it all down in story form. Probably going to try to spread some of this out over the next couple of days, just so you guys aren't trying to read all this on a Saturday when you're out doing things. But we're going to have all this stuff coming at you at AL.com, and practice for the bowl, where Will Muschamp will be evaluating and the rest of them will be coaching. It starts on Monday.